Okay, we're here with Sven Quandt, Managing Director of Cross Country Rally Specialist X-Raid. Sven, we're here with the newly upgraded X-Raid YXZ1000R prototype. The biggest change is a turbocharged engine. Just going back to basics, what does it take? What does X-Raid do to develop the stock YXZ1000R?
We are basically close to 3 years ago it started. That we started to discuss this with Eric and see what you can do better on the YXZ, which is a nice machine. It's very light, it's easy to handle, and it's a machine which for a starter was really good. So the first look at it was making a car for racing, side by side for racing, but for the beginner. And during the project, as the performance with the new chassis and with a lot of things we changed got so good that at the end Eric said, the MD from YME, said, let's get a car which is able to win. So not even 12 months ago, we changed the direction and really went and looked for an engine, and there's a very nice engine in the Yamaha put it this portfolio which we could use, and that's a turbo engine. And with a turbo engine the car has a completely different performance. Now the chassis and the suspension and everything is at the right specification compared to before, where it was far too good for a relatively underpowered car. So with the turbo engine, it's a new area for the Yamaha. To run this car with a snowmobile turbo engine is something very special, and it's really good and it's very efficient, and it has got a nice torque over the whole range, so it's easy to drive, and with a sport shift that helps even, and everything else fits, so you can use a lot from the drivetrain parts into the car, and at the end it's suspension, chassis and drivetrain inclusive the engine, which makes it to a very nice car.
This particular model's had a good shakedown in Morocco. Stefan Peter Hansel took it to a class win in Andalusia. How important is it for this prototype to have experience in actual rally events rather than just general testing on
Basically,
terrain?
There's always a difference between testing. You can do a lot of testing, but you need to do some races. That's why we normally do it like this. We do first about 4,000 or 5,000 kilometers testing, sometimes a bit more, and try to have 2,000 kilometers of racing. And with 2,000 kilometers of racing, you basically, then you have normally achieved everything what you wanted. You know all the small problems or bigger problems which occur during racing, and like this we achieved it, and especially obviously those stage results from Stefan in Andalusia showed everybody the potential what is there. Stefan is a special driver, but on the other hand there is a potential for everybody to use this potential of the car as well. In Morocco, when he was racing already with Zhao, he showed as well that he can be in the top 2, top 3, winning even stages in the class. And with Stefan it was not winning in the class, it was actually going even further, being in the top T1 class racing there. So we achieved what we wanted, and I think for us our goal is at the moment the next Dakar, to see what can be the performance on the Dakar, on a long endurance race.
Yeah, obviously we're here at the SuperFinale in Portalegre at the moment. This prototype's done some amazing things. Do you think this is setting a new benchmark of performance for the YXZ?
Yes, that's for sure. The benchmark compared to the YXZ at the moment, where it's running behind the field or at the end or the middle of the field, now you go and I think the people who would like to buy something like this, looking for winning stages, winning races, and maybe have some fun as well on the weekend at home.
Yeah. When we spoke to Eric yesterday, he said it's potentially 2 to 3 years for it being a full production run. What's the process from now until then, from X-Raid and Yamaha in developing the model?
Basically, and that's maybe a big difference compared to other companies who did this, we prepared the machine already that you are able to produce it on a production line as well. A lot of things like where you place the bolts, how you do all of this is made that you can convert it into a production. So now, first of all, there has to be tests to be done in the US with the machine to see if they're happy with it, what they have to change. For a serious production is obviously different from prototype in this case. What else they would like to change on the technical side. Some parts don't have to be in there, like all the special race gear what are in there, because if you want to do a normal production, you don't need a race gear for this. You don't need the seat belts like this. You don't need all the electronic stuff which is in there. This you can take out and can take it much more easy. But at the end, it's a process which takes normally between 1 and 2 years until you start with the production of this.
Yeah. And what's the next competitive running plan for it at the moment? Is it in terms of 2023?
There will be a couple of cars going to Dakar. That's the first one, and then probably we'll go the whole World Championship with the car, which will be obviously a big step, because then you will see it not only in Middle East, you will see it in the US, in Mexico, you will see it in South America, and you will see it again at the end in Morocco. So hopefully we will do this. And then I think it will be a big success, because then you can see the car all over and shows that Yamaha is where it should be again, on the top.
That's great. Well, thanks very much for your time, Sven. It looks fantastic and can't wait to see it racing.
Thank you.
Thank you.